Okay, here I am, about to head off because I have some things to do, to say the least. Had a shower and feel great at the same time. It's funny how spirit comes in and you're like, sovereign being, sovereign self, right? Don't invade my sovereign being. So here I am. I'm like, Lord love a duck, how much of this is unfolded the way it's meant to? So here I am. I'm looking at some papers, and while I was getting dressed and organizing my closet a bit, I was looking at these papers, and there's something here where there's this energy in it. And I was told it's a good person, but at the same time, this clear knowing came to me that how people imprint things and how, in a way, they give their power away. And I'm not saying the person who wrote these on this paper, typing it however it may be. But what it is things that come to the knowing. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to use discernment, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. I've been in an environment where readings were done, and then all of a sudden, instead of closing it off and blessing and thanking the spirit to move along, they might trap the spirit to stay because they're inquisitive, the person doing the channeling. Now, most professionals would not do this. However, there are those that do because they're full of curiosity. And I'm like, okay, those that are doing this, the hungry ghost realm is waiting for you, because you do not want to invade someone's sovereign space. You do not want to invade someone's sovereign being. You do not want to be invasive and invade someone's family and be puppeteering, masterminding, manipulating because of your own experiences and your own, let's say, possibly your own demise, and you don't want to face whatever it may be that you're meant to face, to process, to unfold, and to grow and flourish and be the human being you're meant to be, living a life experience. And so don't get me wrong, there's a beautiful gift in receiving messages from the other side. At the same time, with elegance, with grace, with ease. If you get a spirit that comes in and it's very hard knocks, at the same time, it may be because of the person in front of you. So if you have any kind of experience in hypnotherapy, for example, sometimes you go with the energy flow that's before you. So if somebody is vibrationally at a certain level and you're not there to determine that vibration level, you just be with what is. So when you channel, some things may come through that you know is not you. It's not yourself. It's not your thought forms. You're kind of like, you're there. If you want to say, it's like being in a stadium. You're surrounded by spirit, and you have someone come forward that wants to speak to the other. And so it's in a due process. It may be someone who recently passed. And that's why they always say it's good if you're getting channeled messages, wait 6 months or more, because you're still in what we call the grief realm. You're still going through pain and suffering. You're still going through the process of what is. Now, my Buddhist self understands a little bit more about the crossing, and so I see it as a celebration. Don't get me wrong, when you lose someone, it's painful. It's like ripping your heart out. You're losing this part of you feel, but at the same time, you may cherish it, you may keep it, you may feel the remembrance of everything of that person. You may process, maybe there were some what ifs, and how dangerous that may be, at the same time recognizing what it may be in a way of an opportunity for you to heal. And so when it comes down to the bigger picture of things, there's places where they're like, oh, we'll pray for your loved ones. We have a prayer book, write their names down, this and that. I know myself, my intentions were pure. I never wrote those names down. I always wrote them down with the purest intention, putting trust in whomever may read that book and whatever it is they may do. I never realized today that they could be mastermind manipulators, puppeteers from their own experience, their own life experience, and the things that they do, and their views and their values and their ethics, and how they may actually intervene. They may affect the well-being of your loved ones. And if you're anything like me, you do stop, you take a step back. And you don't even have to observe at this point. You just be with what may be. And so, because it's not your life, right? It's theirs. It's their life. It's their destiny. It's their plan. You're a part of it in the process of all that is. But if you find anyone that you love, that things are acting out of the ordinary, and not to judge it, to be with it, however it may be. Sometimes it may not require much of anything, just to be. And when you have that space, you offer it. If they're not willing to receive, that's okay. And when they have that space and you're willing to offer it and you're not in a space to receive, that's okay. But if it's the other way around, how beautiful, right? So anyway, I was looking at this paperwork, and then I pull out my little pouch. I have this little healing pouch with all these IT angel cards. I kid you not. I put my hand in, and this is how I do for people. I will pick it out and I'll gift it to people. And it was like the other day, I was in Walmart. Hadn't been in a long, long time. It was close to closing. I was just returning something. I had been in earlier that day, but I hadn't been in Walmart for I don't know how many months. And so I'm seeing all the disarray, people coming and going, and this man keep on saying repeatedly over again, can you please come earlier to drop off the cards? And he kept saying it over and over again. And then, and the energy was like, I wasn't owning it because it was nothing about me. I was just in that kind of triangle. And the people were coming and he was there. And while he was serving me, he was kind of trying to redirect them to make, I guess, his life a lot easier. And so all of a sudden I pull out one of the cards, and it was Archangel Daniel with kindness. And I thought, wow, okay, I'm just going to leave that. I'm not even going to really process that deeply, because it's not for me to bear judgment with surrounding what's going on, just to be with what it is, not to own it. It's kind of like the seer, the observer, like the observing, pardon me. And then, a third time is a charm. And then, feeling guided to give the angel, and I gave it to him, and he looked at it and he said, thank you. And he put it down. And I don't know if it made a shift or a change, but I gifted it to him. And I think he needed to process it. If not at that moment, he will later, or has already, I'm not sure. And so when I gift these, they're pure intention of love. It's no imprinting in a way of them. If they're invading my sovereign space and my sovereign being, wondering more about who I am and why I gave this, that's them invading my sovereign space, my sovereign being, because they really don't need to. So for me, it's like healthy boundaries and, okay, let's put a big wall up, because nope, I was at the right place at the right time to gift as it may. So here I am, I'm going through my papers, and I pull out the bag, as I was just mentioning, the card, and I said, oh, let it not be Archangel Daniel for goodness. Be careful what you wish for, right? Like, that was my thought for him. And I said, of course it is. So this whole subject is like finding the forgiveness of those people that do things that sometimes they don't realize what it is they do. So you forgive them. I'll give an example. When my mother-in-law was dying, it was more than just being at the monastery. There could have been those involved that once were involved in the church that I used to go to, because one of them, the members that once used to go there doesn't anymore, but maybe return, who knows. But he was there at the monastery at the time, and he was trying to talk to my mother-in-law. How frightful that would be, especially if you have telekinesis and you're telepathic and your energy. I know, for example, last night I was cutting something, and I cutting some towel, and this was next to it. And then for a moment I looked, and it was like vibrated from my energy on the table. It was like that. It was like literally vibrating. Blessings. And so it was a sign for me to pick it up and play it, right? And so, may you feel that beautifully. And so here I am, realizing that sometimes we have to be careful what we wish for, because sometimes you say, may it not be this, may it not be that. Well, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. As to why that unfolds, I'm not sure. Maybe to help change our thought forms and our process, and how it is that we're processing certain things. So it's all fine and dandy. Pardon me, Louise Hayes. It's all fine and dandy, all fine and dandy. Oh, that's funny. To say, you know, I am magnificent. I am awesome. I am superior. I am superior when it comes to the oneness and who I am as a beautiful, beautiful being and connecting with my divine soul. Okay? Some people say, oh, there's a higher self. I threw out a deck of cards yesterday because the word higher self was in it. I was like, yeah, no, thank you. I don't need that programming anymore. To me, I'm connected with my soul. And the reason being is there's lots that try to invade your sovereign space. So, for example, somebody that's praying for your family, they're connecting maybe to a possible higher self, that what people believe to be true. Now they're invading your sovereign space and your sovereign being. It's like talking to somebody else, a guide, or someone who could be masterminding and manipulating your life, that may be strapped in a bed, that can't move, that may have ALS, that may have dementia, that may have whatever these things are, and they're on a whole different dimensional place, and maybe it's not wellness, and they're, you know, playing a higher self. There are those that do that. I know that to be true. That can cause you havoc and harm, because then they're kind of downwinding on you and they're not dealing with their own stuff energetically within. You can be trapped completely in your body. You can be in a wheelchair. You could be, you know, in excruciating pain in certain situations. I'm sorry, I'm not doing the barter system here where I'm bartering with you energetically so you can process whatever and think you can puppeteer my life and tell me what to do. It doesn't work that way. No, thank you. There are people that do this shit. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're bartering with someone, boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. I'll say it one more time. Boots on the ground. Okay? For those telepathic, those telekinesis individuals that think or feel, it's like a bandit of time, coming in and pretending to be someone they're not. Now, there are those that are officially, it's true. You can ask them straight out, hey, were you just thinking this? And they will confirm and validate. Or maybe they'll say, I was thinking that earlier. Or maybe they call you back and say, you know, that's really odd, what you told me earlier. I concur. It happened. I don't know how it's possible, but it happened. And so, not that I'm there to manifest their destiny by any means. And so what I'm telling you here is, if it's true that by 2030, you got some of these forefront, let's say light beings, human beings, some not so much, that are predicting certain things and are saying things of such a sort. Well, I'll tell you, chaos and mayhem. Honestly, that would be 2023. Pardon me. 20, oh, maybe it was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that could have been. But 2030. And just remember that if you reflect back in 2023, maybe things were chaotic for you. I'm not sure. But either way, or maybe you're coming out of that transition of chaos. Because supposedly 2022 for many were like, never mind 2020 and 2018, if we're to look at certain timelines. It depends. Some people look at time bandwidth, like these times of 2018 and 2003. You know, there's different timelines or different periods for you where you may have that 7-year separation of big shifts and change that happen in your life. And so there may be 11 years. It all depended on each person and their creation and what it was that they've created for themselves on this destiny and this plan. And so I just know that I've been doing videos for a very long time. Not that I need to tell you that really. I mean, I know I've sat there on the stairs and I was erasing some videos with my sister at the time, and I was laughing and crying at the same time and reflecting back. Those videos, why would I be so shameful? Why would I want to get them offline? They were beautiful. There is beautiful magic like this where I was pulling out cards and it was just like, thank you guys. Thank you, Spirit. This is amazing. Those that be willing to receive will. Those that don't, won't. Obviously, there's stuff for me to go back and look at on the videos eventually and just go through, because that's a whole auto diary that I've been doing, even reflecting back to 2021, right? So 5 years at least that I've been doing videos. Actually, even more when I reflect back. You know, my ex used to call me the photo Nazi. I mean, not the most cordial or nice name to receive. It's like, holy Badima, like, really? And so he obviously wasn't him or himself. Who knows? Full of jealousy at the time, me capturing all this beauty through the lens, which I call love through the lens. It's interesting because another company out there has love, LOVTHROUGHT, the lens. And I do the love through, THRU. And the reason why I do through is love through the lens. It's like a car drives through the car wash. It goes through. It's an action. So it's one thing to be love through the lens, but when you're in an action state of love through the lens, it has a whole different meaning. I'm not about profit, like others are. Not to downwind or the other company that did this 3 years ago. I've been loved through the lens. I mean, if I'm to tell you how old I am, for quite some time. So either way, you all have that though, but you don't have to look at the other company and go, how dare they, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Things unfold naturally exactly the way they're meant to. Don't get me wrong, when people do searches, they do love through the lens. They're automatically programmed here, the young generation, THROUGH. They don't even know in their vocabulary through THRU. Most don't. It's a THROUGH. I even found myself, I was working with a coworker who had her master's in social work. Oh no, she didn't have her master's. Maybe she does now. But she had her social work degree, and she kind of questioned me one time because I wrote through THRU, and I said, well, that's not, through. She goes, no, it's THROUGH. And I'm like, oh, no, it's through. And we looked it up, and she went, oh. And so, again, generational gap, different things were taught. And it's not a matter of right or wrong. It just is. And to embrace it, always opportunities to learn. It's okay to disagree and to agree and go, oh, what a learning moment and opportunity. So I'm going to grab another card for all that may be watching. I know with my YouTube videos, some of them were downloaded a long time ago and there's been problems downloading it. And I have some of them where you can just see it and some of them you don't, and that's okay. I'm not sure what this card's going to tell us, but let's just see. Angel Gabriel and self-discovery. Some people think that being self-discovery is not a good thing. It's like, oh my gosh, you have to fix yourself. Can you imagine? Lord Love a Duck. Again, do not bear judgment. Let it be as it may. Those that sometimes think they're beyond brilliant, they still have things to learn. They still have things to teach, as we all do. We all, in self-awareness and self-worth and recognizing, it's not about being right or wrong. It's not about being more genius than the other person. Everybody has something special to contribute. Some people may not be a genius, but they may be compassionate. They may be caring. They may be giving. They may be thoughtful. They may be genuine. They may be trustworthy. You get what I'm saying here? There's qualities. They may know how to be in a harmonious way and accept things for who they are. And to feel empowered to just keep persevering and moving on. Perseverance is a gift. And so it's okay. It's like myself. I'm okay with understanding there are those that do trickery, that do mastermind manipulating of human beings, and they don't even realize it by wishing ill regard, ill intent upon others. And then there are those that wish beautiful things like angels shower down clarity now. So for example, the EMS can see clearly in the choices they're making for the highest and greatest good of the work situation. I'll just give an example. And that may blinders be taken off and so that they can be of service for the greatest good and whoever they're working with. Get it? So those are empowering, beautiful prayers. It's not that I'm masterminding, manipulating a situation. I'm just wishing for the best outcome for the ambulance that's rushing to the hospital, and may all the traffic clear, may, different things of this sort. May the person, whatever the destiny may it be with ease. Okay, you get the idea? It's not like, I can't even say evil stuff to, it's just, there's things that come in, like last night before going to bed, and I was getting water for my bedside because it's to pay homage in a way to all the guides, ancestors, everyone, in a beautiful way, with love and kindness. And it's not that they need to transcend through me or anything to find the light, and however it may be. It's there to pay respect and love. And so whenever we do things like that, I remember I was taking my water jug and I was pouring it. And this word came out, and I knew it was not me. I knew it wasn't myself. I knew it wasn't my thought form. Something was lurking about. And I had just come back in from outside, so it must go, right? It must go. Only that of love and light may remain in my auric field. So sometimes people will downwind, they will do things that are so unethical. So if you yourself get really upset and say, oh, that's demon, that's demonic, that's evil, just stop, take a step back, observe and process, and just say, you know what? Great White Brotherhood Council of Karma, please come help me now. Golden Council of Metta and Merit, please come help me now. Angels, please come help me now. We've all got sucked into the wormhole, into the rabbit hole, however you may put it, and you get all worked up. Now you got what they call the bandits of time, trying to rob you of your mind, trying to rob you of your psyche. No means no. Building healthy boundaries and saying no. No means no. That's not acceptable. That's not my thought forms. That is not mine. The same thing goes with energies, pain bodies. I understand that we are supposedly all of one of the selective of all that is. And so when it comes to that, remember, be kind to yourself. Know yourself. Your experience is very different than anyone else's. Even though we're divinely connected, you are still a unique being, helping just one person in life from a state where you are able to help in a glorious way without bearing judgment, without advice, without just being with what is, being what it is. I know myself, I'm guilty of it. I sent somebody a message today and I said, oh, maybe you might want to turn your place into bed and breakfast because they're selling it. At the same time, your destiny, your choice, but I dropped the thought for him. Not that I'm trying to master, manipulate, or control, or it's just something that came to me and I shared it. But again, her destiny, her choice, and what it is she's going to do moving forward. So just being, sometimes we recognize that we are to err on caution. And so we can share things. And I just know there's a lot of mastermind beings out there that people's energies, people's destinies get greatly affected, where it's not ambiance presence. It's not in a way of love. You think it's love. You hear it as if it's love. You believe it to be love because it only makes sense to you that it is love. At the same time, remember, it's like this phrase my sister said one time. It's her and her boyfriend came up with this. It was like you could... it's okay to detach, but always stay connected. Isn't that beautiful? It's okay to detach, but always stay connected. Because again, it comes down, people are in different vibration levels, people are in different states of mind, people have different things going on. And so that goes for, have you ever had friends and you've been really good friends and they remember you being good friends and you distance because you moved to a different province or different things go on, and then all of a sudden you reconnect and then it's like no time has passed? That's meant to be, right? And so when it divinely comes to even family, if you're feeling that they're needing time, you respect that. You allow them to have time. And that goes for anyone. And you just be there. And if need be, and you're ready to be there for that person, you know when that time is. And if your chalice cup, they call, is full, and you're ready to pour out and to share and be with what may be, then so it be. I believe, though, that the world, there's a lot of leaders that are causing separation on people, segregation. And so be cautious and not getting all wrapped up in that. Because if you get all wrapped up in that, it's almost like having a firm belief level with these thought forms drop down. And you're believing now something that somebody else believes in instead of coming back to your sovereign being, your sovereign self, and believing in you. It's like putting these people on a pedestal and not recognizing or having the opportunity to really self-discover the beauty in who you are. And it's okay to forgive yourself for recognizing it and going, oh, how could I have spent all that time? And then you're like, nope, I was meant to spend that time. I learned so much, and it's okay. It's like a reverend once told me, it's like, oh, Tina, you're on a really interesting golden path, like the yellow brick road. And it's true. And I've been told too that you'll see a lot of glimmer and glam, and you just keep going, however it may be. And to me, the glimmer and glam, appreciate it, right? Appreciate those and what they're creating, because we're all part of creation. And daring to continue to create, however it may be. I mean, just recently I have these thought forms, and I'm like, okay, are these mine? Are these my thought form, this creation and thought forms of what to do? And then I'm like, Lord, I've got this all costs lots of money to do this, to do that. What am I doing this for, you know? And then I look over and I'm like, okay, I see my gongs. Love, love, love. That's like healing tools for me, right? And so, and changing up something different than I thought, right? And so this is the card, okay? So last night when I went to bed, I took this rose carpet that I got, and it was odd how it came about. I was in a store, and I'm like, is that for sale? And the girl behind the counter says, nope, it's on hold. I'm like, okay. I said, but it's the end of the day. Because I know they only hold till the end of the day. She goes, yeah, it's not for sale. So then something told me as I was walking out, because I've went to this place so many times before, and I seen the manager at the door, and I was just leaving, because sometimes I like to shop just before it closes. Less energies, less people in the store. And the manager's there, and I said, you know, I asked this girl about a carpet behind the counter, and she says I said, is it still for sale? So I asked the second time. That would be kind of like Moses coming through. It's hard to explain. It's like those of us that know Ascending Master Jesus, Yahshua, Yahweh, however you want to see it, Yidam, however. I'm announcing it maybe incorrectly, but that's okay. That's me. And so comes in, and heaven flows out of you, where it's like you may be in situations where you're like, okay, I wasn't completely me or myself, but that was pretty magnificent. I know that was meant to be. Maybe more for the person. I was the direct conduit. I was a transmedium for that person. And so it's like, whoa, right? But it's a message to bear for myself as well. And so sure enough, the carpet was available, and I bought it. And I found out later, and I didn't want to. I'm like, no, thank you. Don't want to know. Spirit was saying how she was saving it for herself. if she would have said that, I would have just left well enough alone. At the same time, when people become deceptive or be in a certain manner, and as soon as he went to get it for me, she batted at a you know what. And so, obviously not wanting to lose her job. And so there are people that have clear knowing of people's agenda and people's intentions. And so that carpet, though, is magnificent. It is beautiful. I sat on it because it has a rose, and I always say I'm a rose, the color rose. That would be me, Tina Marine. It was my favorite color, rose. And I'm like, my door has to possibly be painted that color. Or maybe a golden color, yellow kind of thing. Time will tell, as I have 3 different doors, 2 of them at least to paint. And so here I am, back to the rose carpet. I'm looking at my angels, and I'm just sitting there with the 9. And I'll do that energetically. I'm like, which one am I led to? And this is exactly who I was led to. So it's a reminder in the last 24 hours, angel faith, and have faith. Faith in myself. May you also have faith in yourself and who you are as a sovereign being. And remember, it's not a matter of being right or wrong. Sometimes things will come up and it gives us opportunity to say, okay, this is my perspective, this is yours, that's okay. We can agree to disagree on our perspectives, whatever it may be. It could be something really small, and then later you reflect back and you go, oh my gosh, why did I get on a rampage about that? And then you recognize it's about you. It's not about them, right? Or it's about them and not about you. It's sometimes we go through deep sorrow and pain, and then we realize we're on the mend, and we have to really focus on ourselves and take good care of ourselves and have faith that things will unfold the way they do. Now, don't get me wrong, there's times where you'll have these collective beings that are not cordial or kind or ethical, or they're just what I call bandits of time. They play trickery. And they'll put a thought form like the one that did last night, lack of self-doubt. I'm like, I'm holding my glass, and may I have, and whatever came out was beautiful. And so those affirmations and Louise Hay's, those are the times to do it, and to be with what is, with yourself, right down deep, and just say, I am enough. I am magnificent. I had a reverend who I got my integrated energy therapy, and I do a lot of, when I've had guests, I don't call them clients, they're guests because I'm a nonprofit. And I do different things where it's like, oh, okay, you're going to be of service to help with this, with my nonprofit in a special way. Then I'll help you with talk therapy, hypnotherapy, all these different types of therapy. Even shamanism, can be therapy. And so, and even when it comes to the crystal therapy, like we're talking, it's just very different. And never mind my experience in working with crisis intervention on mobile crisis for so many years, right? The foundational work, even before that, when I had done some things in between, even worked as a prison guard for a short period of time, and got to meet a lot of RCMP officers at the time. And even prior to that, being in the military, right? And so enough to get a good taste and get out when I was meant to, because when I see now how Earth dwells in the things and how people have been, and how you can see, oh my, like these Earth beings and vulnerability, and how, sexual misconduct cases happen, and how you look at this situation and you go, okay, it's time for me to forgive. Because as a big collective, the things that go on even behind the scenes and make people not themselves and act in uncordial ways and do things. And so things unfold exactly the way they do, and to be with it, to say the least. So I'm going to leave that with you. May you be well, may you be happy. May you find the path where you're able to say, may I be free from anger, may I be free from ill will, may I be free from jealousy, may I be free from mental suffering, may I be free from physical suffering, may I live in peace, may I live happily. And so to find peace and harmony within yourself, don't get me wrong, it takes work, it takes experiences, it takes a lot, in a way that you come to an understanding where you can find that wise mind and be with what may be. It's like the other day I was driving and I pulled over in the parking lot, and one of the agents was doing a class, and I'm like, okay, I'm a little late, but I'm going to still go there and be a part of it. Who knows? Somebody could have sent me a subliminal thought. Where's Tina? Why isn't she on? And I'm on, right? And so I'm there, and he's doing the chanting, and he's talking about the roads, and I'm seeing this big red rose, and then I'm seeing different roses, and then I'm seeing this, and it's not always I get this imagery, okay? It just happened to be a beautiful gift. And so then I see this tree, and it's like Buddha's in the tree, because I always say, Buddha, when I cross over, may I meet you in the tree, like the trunk of the tree, and it's Buddha's there. And it's like this beauty. And then I see a Buddha that's gathered with just more than I realized in the tree. And then it's like these colors again, and seeing, I'm like, is that a dragon, or what is it that I'm seeing? But I'm not sure, and that's okay to be. And so there are those out there, when you share this stuff, they're like, I wish it to be for me and not for her. Like, can you imagine? Why would you not want that for everybody? It's their jealousy. I've been in situations before where I did something magnificent, where I manifested for 2 years, and there was a bench, and it had a tree on it. I would have loved to have bought it for myself, but I didn't. The intentions were pure. I bought it for an organization to donate it to. And I remember when I bought it, and I looked at the owner and said, "How can you give me some kind of deal? I'm going to donate this. May you deliver it." And so I was there with another person. The other person was on a whole different world, a dimension. Like, I'm like, okay, let's get this done. Okay, deliver it. And on my way back from that place, I was sitting in the car, and I was in a glorious space. And you have to be careful on who you associate with, okay? So my light is so bright. I'm so grateful. I spent a ton of money, but it was worth every penny to donate it so that many can enjoy it. And so I sit there in the car, and this person's driving my car. Now this person's having a seminal conversation with a bandit of time. In other words, someone, some woman, something. Oh, I would have liked to, that's what I wanted, is trickery with his mind. I feel the pain bodies of this. I went from being a bright light, feeling bright, sitting next to him, and I felt this overwhelming pain. And then something comes out of me that is due to jealousy. And I'm like, what is going on? And I just say it out loud. I'm feeling this pain, and I just don't know why, but it's due to jealousy. Just like I'm telling you now. He turned to me and he said, shut the F up. I was in shock. I couldn't wait to get home. And then I heard her voice speaking to him. That's trickery. So if you are with a relationship with anyone, okay, and you're telepathically communicating, and we're talking 20, 30, more and more, supposedly, and you're there, and you hear as if that person is having a conversation, because these portals open for me. I've had that happen where I've been at the church, been at the monastery, I'm in the stillness of what is. It's like a door opens, and I literally hear that person, possibly their mind thoughts, having a conversation with someone else, where they're not them or themselves, but they're having a conversation. So there's more than one conversation going on. The bandit of time, the trickery, the puppeteer, the mastermind manipulator, whatever it may be, is coming in as a distraction. Talking to that person. And you're just being the witness to what is, but at the same time, you're feeling that pain body. You're feeling something that is not right. And I was there, and I stayed around this person for a while because they were dying of cancer. And I realized after, whoa, do they not realize what it is they're doing? It's like sitting next to Warlock that's playing games and trickery and everything else, but at the same time, they are not them. They are not themselves because of the involvement. And so then I become not me or myself, because the pain bodies were excruciating. Sitting next to this person, excruciating. People have sold their cars because of things like this. Sold their cars. I have sold my house, my home that I used to live in, because of situations like this. So be careful on who you associate with. Okay, that would be like Odin coming through. Because of the way my eye winks. And so just know, be of love, be of kindness. If there's something going on and you're with another human being, you're with another human being. You're here as a human being living a life experience. And something is coming in to communicate with you. You can say, no, thank you. I'm here. I'm informed. I'm a human being living this life experience, sharing it with another human being at this time. And you can say, no, thank you. Please leave me alone. And you can do that subliminally in your mind. You don't have to say it out loud. Because it's intrusive, it's invasive, it's you setting healthy boundaries up with spirit. There is earthbound wandering spirits that are full of curiosity. Some don't even know they've passed. Some are wandering around us out of curiosity for visitation's sake, because maybe they have, there is a time that we as human beings function on. Spirit doesn't always function on time. And the ones who've crossed over and they're part of creation and they're doing things to help you in a love and kindness way, those are the ones that cross over and know they're not shortchanging themselves, because they're getting what they need, especially rest, seeing life from a wide perspective, and then amongst other things, they're not entrapped by human beings on the earth plane, and they're part of creation. And your creation and help you in a special way, in different ways, not the way the earthbound spirit or even the residual energy can affect you personally as a human being. So please, let us all find ways of forgiveness for ourselves. We're all taught that, even in psychology, right? Forgive yourself first. It's like putting on the oxygen mask, right? Before you put the oxygen mask on for your child, right? Help thyself. Self-discovery, recognizing what it is that you are going through. You know, people talk about dark night of the soul. That's a time for self-discovery, there's no doubt, depending on the state of mind. I also look at it like, okay, some people do see it this way. When people are going through dark night of the soul, it's really hard to reason with them or even talk with them or give them perspective. Sometimes you just have to be there for them. You do, because it can be a really shitty place to be in, but at the same time, beautiful, and time for growth, time to self-discover what it is that you need to self-discover in order to be happy, to be joyful, to appreciate, respect, be thankful, amongst other things. Endearing you to create, whatever it may be. Have self-confidence in what it is you're doing, no matter what anyone says. You know, sometimes some of the best creations, people were criticized like they were crazy, and not to use that word because we really don't want to, right? But people may have been judged, people may have been ridiculed for their creation. Because what? It doesn't fit the norm, but it may be a magnificent creation down the road. And then all of a sudden a person dies and that creation is, you know, found somehow in papers or whatever it may be. And, you know, whatever it may be, it's just creation. I dare you to create. If you may receive your destiny, your choice, of course, and having faith. You can, sometimes we all get caught up in faith of our religious status. Faith in, and really comes back down faith in yourself. If you're going to follow preceptors and you're going to follow commandments or whatever it may be, you're going to follow anything of faith, you have to have faith in yourself. You have to have faith in yourself. You really do. And you can ask for help. Thank you, angels. Again, I'll leave you with that. 7 times a charm. Blessings. They say 3rd time's a charm, so have faith.